The message arrived just after sunset while I was watering the flowers in my backyard. Mom, are you awake? I really need your advice. Please don't be mad. I stared at the screen for a few seconds. My son, Ethan, rarely sent messages like that. He usually called if something was wrong. My heart immediately filled with questions. I replied, I'm always here for you. Come home. 25 minutes later, the front door opened slowly. Ethan walked inside carrying his backpack, but instead of heading to his room like usual, he sat beside me in the living room. He looked nervous, rubbing his hands together over and over. I don't know how to say this, he whispered. I smiled gently. There's no wrong way to start. He took a deep breath. I met someone. I nodded. I guessed that. He laughed nervously. It's serious, Mom. We've been together for 6 months. I'm happy for you. He looked down. I think we're getting to a point where things might become more serious. The room became quiet. I don't know if I'm ready, he admitted. Everyone keeps acting like it's no big deal. My friends joke about it all the time. Social media makes it seem like everyone already knows what they're doing. His voice cracked. But I don't. I reached over and held his hand. Do you know what that tells me? He shook his head. It tells me you're thinking before acting. For the next hour, we didn't talk about pressure. We talked about respect. About choosing someone who truly cared for him. About never confusing love with proving something. I told him that real relationships weren't built on impressing people. They were built on honesty. He listened more carefully than I had ever seen him listen before. Then he surprised me. Can I ask something weird? You can ask anything. What if I'm not ready for months, or even a year? I smiled. Then you wait. Really? Real love never disappears because someone chooses to wait. He stared at me in silence. I thought people would laugh at me. Some people might. But the right person never will. A few days later, Ethan told me he wanted to have an honest conversation with his girlfriend, Lily. I'm scared she'll think I don't love her. I smiled. If she truly loves you, she'll respect your honesty. That evening he left to meet her. I spent the entire evening wondering how the conversation had gone. When he came home, there was a huge smile on his face. What happened? He laughed. She said she was relieved. Relieved. She admitted she was nervous too. Both of them had been pretending to be more confident than they really were. Instead of rushing into something neither of them fully understood, they decided to simply enjoy getting to know each other better. They started spending weekends hiking, watching old movies, cooking dinner together, and meeting each other's families. Months passed. Their relationship grew stronger. Not because of physical moments, but because of trust. One afternoon, nearly a year later, Ethan sat beside me again. You remember our conversation? I'll never forget it. He smiled. I finally understand what you meant. What part? You said love isn't about proving you're grown up. It's about making choices you'll still be proud of years later. He nodded. I think that's finally happening. Watching him walk away that day, I realized something important. Children don't always need parents to solve their problems. Sometimes they simply need one person who won't judge them. One person who will listen before speaking. One person who reminds them that maturity isn't measured by how quickly you grow up. It's measured by how wisely you choose your path. That conversation lasted less than 2 hours. But it became one of the most meaningful moments of our lives. Because my son didn't just ask for advice. He trusted me with his fears. And as a parent, there is no greater gift than that.